Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Cedric Holmes. Now, when people hear doctor, they often ask me, so can you prescribe something? And I always tell them no. I don't prescribe medicine. I prescribe solutions for businesses that are sick from bad processes and wasted technology. With that said, just introducing myself, I've spent over 25 years helping organizations implement CRM, ERP, and now AI systems. I've been a program manager, a consultant, a fractional CTO, and yes, I've been in the trenches when projects have gone wrong. I also hold a doctorate in strategic leadership. I am PMP certified, and I've built practices inside of companies like Salesforce, Deloitte, and of course my own consulting firms. But here's the truth. My passion isn't just technology, it's leadership. Because after all of these years, I've seen a pattern. When leadership shows up, technology delivers. When leadership checks out, technology fails. No matter how fancy the system is, that's what happens. That's why I created the Holmes integration method, a framework that bridges leadership and technology, and that is what this talk is about. So today, I want to show you why technology follows leadership and how buy-in defines success in CRM, ERP, AI, and technology. You know, I get called into a lot of companies where things have gone, let's say, sideways. And it usually sounds like this. Cedric, we spent thousands on a new CRM and no one's using it. What happened? Or, we bought an ERP to unify our systems and now it's just unifying dust in our server room. Or my personal favorite, we now have AI and it's supposed to do something, we just don't know what. Sound familiar? Here's the punchline. None of these are really technology problems. They're leadership problems. So let me ask you, was that failure about tech or was it about leadership? Here's my argument. Technology is neutral. It's a hammer. Leadership decides whether it builds a house or smashes your thumb. And that's why I built the Holmes integration method, or HIM for short. And no, not like Sherlock Holmes, although we do share a knack for solving mysteries. This is a method for making sure that leadership buy-in defines technology success. And that's what today is about. Not just technology, but leadership. And not just theory, I'm actually going to show you how it applies to technology using real stories. Now, let's get real. Failure rates for CRM, ERP, and AI projects around 60 to 70%. That's Vegas odds. You'd be better off putting your digital transformation budget on black at the roulette table and letting it ride. Why does this happen? Because executives treat these projects like IT upgrades. Oh yeah, just let the tech team handle it. That's like buying a treadmill, putting it in the basement, and expecting to get fit by osmosis. It doesn't work that way. The truth is, technology amplifies what leadership sets in motion. If leaders are clear, committed, and engaged, technology scales to clarity. If leaders are fuzzy, disengaged, or hands-off, technology scales confusion. This is what Lewin talked about with change management. If you don't unfreeze old habits, nothing changes. People cling to the old ways like a kid clutching their blanket. Cotter put it differently. Skip the vision and communication steps, and resistance wins every time. So the paradox is this. Technology projects pretend to be about systems, but they're really about leadership. The Holmes integration method is a framework for making leadership the engine of tech adoption. HIM has 6 interconnected pillars that transform how executives approach CRM, ERP, AI, and technology implementations. These pillars target critical failure points often seen in tech rollouts. What I'll do is share real case studies that demonstrate how leadership makes all the difference in successful tech implementations. The diagram on the slide shows the 6 pillars of the HIM framework. The visual helps illustrate the holistic nature of the approach and how the different elements work together. A few years ago, I worked with a sales organization that had just rolled out a shiny new CRM. Everyone was excited. for about a week. Then adoption tanked. Why? Because leadership treated it like an optional chore. Then the CEO decided to flip the script. He announced, pipeline reviews happen in CRM. If it's not in the system, it doesn't exist. Suddenly, the rep stopped saying, I hate CRM, and started saying, if I want my deal reviewed, I'd better update CRM. Adoption skyrocketed. Not because the software changed, but because leadership anchored it to the vision, pipeline discipline, and accountability. This is transformational leadership in action. Leaders cast a vision and model it. ERP is like a body transplant for a company. Finance, supply chain, HR, all connected. Without leadership, it becomes Frankenstein's monster. I worked with a mid-sized manufacturer. They bought an ERP but never defined their process DNA. Which processes mattered most? Finance, inventory, customer orders? No one knew. So every department wanted everything. The result? A bloated ERP full of half-built modules. No one used it. Contrast that with another client who started defining their process DNA. Leadership said, for us, it's supply chain and finance first. We tailored the ERP around that. Adoption soared because the system reflected the company's DNA. This is servant leadership. Leaders clearing the path, prioritizing what matters most so teams can succeed. AI is the shiny new toy right now. Everyone wants it. But here's the question. What stays human and what gets automated? I saw a financial services company pilot an AI chatbot. Great tech, but no exec buy-in. Nobody told employees where it fit in or how it helped them. After 3 months, the pilot was dead. AI became that thing in the corner. Now compare that to a real estate company I worked with. Leadership said, we're going to use AI for onboarding automation, and it'll handle compliance paperwork and reminders, but reps still own the relationship. The clarity made AI a co-pilot and not a competitor. Employees trusted it because leadership defined the rules. Lewin would call this refreezing the new way. Here's where things get fun. When leaders model success, it creates confidence loops. I worked with an equipment finance company. We built them a client portal streamlining qualification and documentation. It tied directly to their CRM. It was a beautiful system, but no one used it. Why? Legacy habits die hard. They were used to the old clunky process. Then, the VP started using the portal himself. In weekly meetings, he'd say, look, I shaved 20 minutes off of this process. I'm closing deals faster. At first, people rolled their eyes, but then they saw he was chasing 2 to 3 extra deals a day. That meant more revenue. Suddenly, everyone wanted in. Adoption shot up, and the company's bottom line grew. That's a confidence loop. Leaders model behavior, others follow, trust builds, adoption spreads. With Pillar 5, which is the executive control tower, leaders don't want all of the data. They want the right data. I once walked into a boardroom with 14 dashboards on the screen. 14. My client contact leaned over to me and said, Cedric, which one am I supposed to look at? The HIM approach builds a control tower. One dashboard, strategic KPIs, clear decisions, no noise. That's transformational leadership again, turning chaos into clarity. Pillar 6 focuses on delivery. Pure Agile is great for product iteration, but large projects need clearer boundaries and structure. The Holmes integration method combines Agile principles with waterfall-style guardrails. Agile gives us fast feedback cycles, quick releases, and close user involvement. But we also need clear scope, definition, a finite timeline, and a definitive project end. Hybrid Agile balances this flexibility with the structure needed for accountability and timely delivery. It's the best of both worlds, the speed and responsiveness of Agile with the planning and control of waterfall. The key message here is that technology alone is not enough. Without leadership engagement, technology projects often face challenges like budget overruns, low morale, and a lack of user adoption. Technology becomes an expensive overhead rather than a driver of value. But with strong leadership sponsorship, technology initiatives can deliver rapid ROI, boost employee productivity and satisfaction, and also provide a true competitive advantage. The quote on the slide emphasizes the point. Technology without leadership is overhead. Technology with leadership is competitive advantage. The visual of the futuristic boardroom with executives collaborating around holographic displays reinforces the idea of technology being leveraged effectively under strong leadership. My role as a presenter is to bring this message to life through examples and stories that demonstrate the transformative power of leadership in driving technology success. Every tech project is a leadership project in disguise. Technology reveals leadership alignment. The Holmes integration method, HIM, is a roadmap. Vision to adoption, adoption to ROI. You should also consider my free Vision to Value scanner that allows you to assess alignment. HIM guides leadership to ensure tech delivers return on investment and not rework. Remember, technology follows leadership. Strong leadership equals successful transformation. Thank you for your time. As we've discussed, transformation isn't just about technology. It's about leadership, process, and execution coming together in the right way. If you're ready to take the next step, I'd love to connect and explore how we can unlock measurable value and create sustainable competitive advantage for your organization. You can reach me directly at info@drcedricholmes.com or visit www.drcedricholmes.com to learn more. Let's transform the way you approach technology together.